Hello everyone. Sorry, I literally 30 seconds before we started, my neighbour started doing, it's basically a new bathroom's been put in, and they've just started today. And I was like, oh, I'd hoped to get in before they started, but hopefully you can't hear the drilling that's going on. Hello everyone. Hello. Hello Naomi. Are you staying in the UK long after Drag Me? I'll message you. Do not worry, I will message you. And hello Kieran. Nice to see you all there. And oh yeah, Nightbot did work after all. Hello everyone. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns. I am a white woman with sort of mid-length browny blondie hair, wearing her gym gear as I'm going to go out for a long walk after this stream. And this is Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPGs. Good afternoon. Oh, hello, Science and Sorcery. Hello, Sam. Hope you're doing well. I will say, just as a side note, Sam, so I literally watched the wonderful Cryptic Creats actual play, which anyone watching this afterwards, I'll make sure I'll put a link in the show notes because it was absolutely cracking. Really good, amazing stuff, right? And there was a giveaway. And as always, I'm like, supportive over there. And then I literally, about 20 minutes before the end, my partner came home and we went shopping. And so I didn't know I got the dice until you messaged me this morning. So that's very exciting. Soz. I got into the habit of being like, need to message and then being, oh my god, stream. No worries, Naomi. It's just because, I just don't want to be like, here are my dates of when I'm exactly in the UK and all that sort of thing. So yeah, no, it's all good. I very much appreciate it. So yeah, I will get into it. Anyway, what was I saying? Too Long Didn't Read Tabletop RPG stream in which I, myself, the host of What Am I Rolling, a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast, we go through an RPG that's caught my eye, whether it's from the Bookshelf of Doom or the Google Drive of Mystery. Hope you're all doing well, friends. I will be honest, the clock change in the UK has absolutely screwed me up, and it doesn't really affect me. I'm now having to double check every sort of commitment I have this week, because it's either I'm going to be an hour late or 2 hours early, and I don't know which time anymore. So if I've got an appointment with you guys at some point this week, if you're watching this, but you're like, that's probably why she was late. But otherwise, I'm doing well. Actually, I'm a little bit annoyed today. I woke up, I saw something, and I was like, this has put me in a bit of a bad mood, but I'm trying to break through it and get through it, and we're going to do our Too Long Didn't Read, and we're going to have a really good time. Science and Sorcery, I am very jealous of you getting the dice set. They are so beautiful. Yes, no, I'm very excited. I will say, obviously not sponsored by Rune Fable or Hatchling Games, but my god, Rune Fable's dice are... one of the things I'm going back for when I go to Drag Meet is Rune Fable. I got some of their dice before I left, and I moved, and I gave them to my partner as a little birthday gift, and he's been using them in his Magic the Gathering set, and now I've been asked by every person at the store, like, where did I get the dice from, and could I put in an order? So I think Miles at Rune Fable is going to have a very lucky Christmas. Good for him when I come back and I go to his stall and go, excuse me, I need these dice. But yes, they're very good. Check out Rune Fable's dice. I'll see if I can get a link when I've finished this game. Because today, friends, let's get right onto it. Today we are going to look at a very, very light RPG. I appreciate that we've had 2 light RPGs in a row, but by God, I can't fault the system of the random number generator. But today, friends, we are looking at something called Doubt Comes In. It is a 2-player game inspired by Hadestown, which is an album written by Anaïs Mitchell, Anaïs Mitchell, and it's been made for a game jam. And again, that was one of those things where I'm like, should I cover this? And I'm like, well, no, you know what, we should cover all aspects, not just the big published ones or the sort of indie darlings, etc. We should look at the ones that that I've just happened to have in my library. And I can't remember when I got this. It clearly was a part of some sort of bundle that I got many years ago, and I downloaded a couple of them to look at. And so yeah, we're gonna look at that today. So I will put another link in the chat, because it is currently it is $3, which I think compared to the last game we looked at, which was $15, it might be a little bit different. So yes, let's do some disclaimers at the top of the session. So I am not a game designer. I will keep saying I'm not a game designer, even though I'm clearly on my path to it at some point. I just need a little bit of a tip over the edge, and we're gonna. And, so everything I say is obviously with a pinch of salt. I'm just, I run a lot of games, I read a lot of games, and it sort of helps me with my GMing style. That's primarily why I do this sort of stuff, as well as helping me learn how to sight read. So, again, none of it is criticism. It's always critique about, what I think I would do if I had this game, etc. So, again, never criticism, always critique, no matter what we come across. Equally, I've not been sponsored by Evan Saff. Yes, I was going to say Evan Salt. Evan Saff, who made this game. They don't know I'm doing this at all or anything like that. But so they've got a number of games on their itch, which again I've put in the chat as well. And finally, content warnings. It's going to be based on Hadestown, which is an album. Again, I think most people here are like musical folks as well. So it's a cracking music. I absolutely recommend it. And it's based on the Greek myth of Orpheus going into the underworld to look for his partner. If you know how it ends, spoilers for an ancient Greek myth. But it's, there's lots of stuff about death and stuff like that. I don't know about this game particularly, but if it's based on that, and it recommends you listen to the musical as well, which I was like, yeah, absolutely, Hadestown. Great musical. Just that's the only thing. It's just Greek myths. Anything that comes with the tropes of Greek myths. Just be aware. Usually, women don't do well in them. Unfortunately, they always get punished by gods, which I think is unfair. Actually, that's brought back a core memory. I remember a very unoriginal idea. I appreciate, but I did a writing class, and I thought, what about if we'd got modern Greek myths and turn them on their head. From the point of view of the women, and I did one of Persephone being like a really actually it was her, not Persephone, I can't remember what she's called now, the person in it, but basically Orpheus's partner actually says, actually no, I don't want to go back with this guy. I'm going to stay in hell. I also did Pandora's apology video for her unboxing previous video, which I thought was really good, but nothing ever came of it as a result. Hadestown says, I'm a fan of Hadestown, so looking forward to see how this translates. Oh yes, Eudiaces. Yes, thank you, Naomi, very much appreciate it. Cool, let's just go straight into it. So away from big Fiona face. Oh, that's on the lights. We don't want to turn off the lights, do we? Nothing in that folder. There we go, game face. There we go. So yeah, so as always, when we start these streams, we always look at the copy. We always look at where you might get it, because unfortunately we're in a time where aesthetic and assets and art mean everything. And yeah, let's look at it. It's very basic, again, very simple itch store we've got here by Evan Saff. And yeah, as it says here, Doubt Comes In is a 2-player game inspired by the album Hadestown, made for the record collection of 2019. So that's quite cool. I didn't realise, again, I know obviously game jams exist, but I hadn't really thought about game jams that are inspired by other bits of media, so like music or even maybe theatre. I know them more for around a prompt or using a system, perhaps. I know Wretched and Alone do a lot of game jams based on the Wretched system. So yeah, and this is a game about love, loss, and ultimately whether or not you can live with uncertainty. Great, I like that as a little line tag. I think that's really good. I think it's very simple. That kind of copy kind of says what it is on the tin. Again, would be quite nice perhaps to go a little bit more about what Hadestown is for those folk who don't know. Again, you can see what I do like is that they do put links to both the original album and the live album as well. So you don't have to be stuck to one album. And they're both on Spotify, which I think it's easy to listen to. Again, you don't need an account, she says. Oh no, maybe you do need a free account with Spotify, but at least you don't have to pay for the music. I'd also say you probably could find it on YouTube as well, if you're one of those folks. Yeah, $3. So what's that, £1.50? For a 2-player game, that's not too bad, I don't think, as well. Darn, I missed the first 12 minutes. The 12s are underrated. No worries, friend. Well, you're here now, and trust me, this stream might not go on for much longer. So you're just in time. We're just about to start. Because yes, what I will say, if I go over to the PDF, is that you can't see anything, but this actual PDF, this actual game is only 4 pages, which I think is a decent length for what you get. If it's $3, etc., and it's a 2-player game. So, and as you can see here, there's no cover, there's no art. It is screen readable in the sense of it's text only. So let's talk about that. Again, I have no issue with that. I think a lot of times people worry about it must look good, it must be very artistic, etc., the layout, etc. I think as long as it's readable and you're not charging a ridiculous amount of money, then I think it's fine. I always think the reason people charge a lot and Kickstarter and stuff like that is to pay for the assets and art and pay for the illustrators and writers and stuff like that. I think absolutely. If you're making games off the cuff and just putting them up and as work in progress and stuff, but I don't think there's a problem with doing charging $3-5 or whatever. I think that is worth doing, but I think we just have to be aware that I'm thinking of the previous game we looked at, the Spoken Through Petals one, which was I think 12 pages and it was $15. It wasn't. We came to this thing of going, it could have been a lot of more stuff could have gone into it, especially because it felt like an incomplete game. But let's go into this. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And like I said, this stream might literally be 20 minutes because of the length of this, but that's okay. So Doubt comes in. It's a sad song, but we sing it anyway. So obviously a line from Hadestown. And yeah, there we go. Got a little bit at the top. So Doubt comes in. It's a 2-player game of love, loss, and uncertainty. The players take the parts of the singer and the lover. The singer and lover were once together and happy, but the lover has left and descended to the underworld. The singer has no option but to journey to the underworld to try and retrieve them. So yeah, the plot of Hadestown, the plot of Orpheus going into the underworld. I would actually use that copy and put it on the actual page, because we don't have that. All we have is a 2-player game of love, loss, and uncertainty. And it's inspired by the album. Like, again, we'll find out if we need to listen to the album as we go into it, but we'll see. So what do we need? We need 2 players, always. A piece of paper, an envelope or a piece of paper and some tape. And a pen. So it sounds like this game is going to be in person. It's quite interesting. We've got a lot of games actually being funded just now that have that require you to be in person or have some sort of in-person element. I'm thinking literally of, what was it called? I just backed it before I came on stream. Let me just double check what it's called. A tragic 2-player zombie RPG called The Time We Have Left, where the players are on opposite sides of a door, a closed door. So I'm like, that's quite interesting. And I know, Science of Sorcery, you've got an actual play of that coming out, I think it's tomorrow, I want to say tomorrow, which I'll be looking forward to. I'm very interested to see what happens. Okay, so the author's note. So Doubt comes in, plays over 3 acts, and it's recommended that you don't read through the 3rd act until you reach it in play. Okay, so massive spoilers, because we're going to absolutely do that. So, Act 1, Introductions. Let me zoom it in a little bit more, because it's a little bit better, isn't it? So, decide who will play the singer and who will play the lover, and then answer the following questions. And then it splits into 2 columns, which I quite like, actually. I think it makes sense. Tomorrow, indeed, it is emotionally devastating, says Science of Sorcery. Ah, yes, that's the 2-player zombie game. I'm looking forward to it. It does not surprise me. It's emotionally devastating. As soon as you read The Time We Have Left and you understand what the concept is, you're like, yeah, that's gonna be devastating. But I like how here, in this layout, it puts the questions that the singer and the lover, so each player answers side by side. Like, he doesn't say, answer it like one question after another, but here I think it indicates that. So you don't answer them all at once. Like, you can listen to the other person and answer them. So it sounds like, again, the singer goes first. So the singer has to answer what first inspired you. And then I would imagine, this is how I would play it, the lover answers, what was your first great love? And then it's going back and forth and maybe building on it a little bit. The singer then answers, what do you want to change about the world? Ooh, and then the lover answers, what about the world will never change? I like that. I like the 2 sort of opposing questions there. What first struck you about the lover? What first struck you about the singer? And what is your name? And what is your name? So it's interesting. The questions, so second, third, and fourth questions are mirrored very similarly, and then the first one is slightly different. Obviously, depending on which occupation you have or which sort of role you have. So I quite like that. And that's Act 1. It's just the introductions. That's interesting. So let's take a look. Sorry, my throat's already very dry. Okay. So, I'm just checking. So Act 2 is the descent. We follow our characters' separate parallel journeys into the underworld through a series of stages. I think the only thing I'd miss there is that we need that in bold, the underworld, because we got it in bold up here. In each stage, one player will take the part of the underworld and describe an aspect of the journey, followed by the other player describing an aspect of their relationship. They will then play out a short scene together. Oh, and then we've got little short scenes. How interesting. So you almost double the scenes then. So you'd have the ferry scene twice, with each player playing the ferry or something about the underworld, and the other one playing their respective role. Interesting. So in the ferry scene, we have the singer says, sing of the dead's transport to the underworld. What form does it take? A boat, a carriage, a train, a road. And then the lover is, speak of the first gift the singer gave to you. What form did it take? Was it mundane, lavish, an item, an idea? Interesting. So we follow our journeys parallel. Like, I guess the thing is, in the original story, obviously, we have like Orpheus's like path is second to how do you pronounce that word? Sorry. Eurydice. I can't remember how you pronounce it. This is so bad. Eurydice? No. Sorry, it's very early here, so my brain is still not in gear. I've not had my tea. But having that lovers, I would put the lover's story, like how it's said here, so the singer goes first and then the lover. But like the lover's path is in flashback. That'd be quite interesting. And then it says, together, play out the lover's departure from the world of the living. What price do they have to pay? Interesting. And then we have the messenger. So the singer, sing of your first conversation with the lover. Was it short, long? Did they take a shine to you? Did you get off on the wrong foot? And then the lover says, speak of the god that delivers the message of your departure to the singer. What do they look like? What are the gods like in this world? And together, play out the messenger's story to the singer. How does the singer convince them to reveal their way to the underworld? Wait, so interesting. So these are more prompts then. So, I've misunderstood. So each stage, one player will take part of the aspect of the journey, followed by the other describing the aspect of their relationship, and then they play out the sort of scene. Right, I misinterpreted. So it's kind of defined which one. So like this first one here, the ferry, talks about the transport to the underworld, and then in the second one, the messenger, it talks about the way the gods deliver the message. So those are the aspects of the underworld, and then the other two, so the lover here and the fairy one speaks of the gift that the stranger gave to you. That is a relationship, and the same here with the singer, relationship with the lover as well. And then you play out together that short scene. Interesting. Oh, I like that. So it's like 2 prompts, scene, 2 prompts, scene. Okay. The gate. So the singer must sing of the dead's entrance to the underworld. Is it imposing, inviting, adorned with jewels, sparse and plain? And then the lover, speak of how the singer won you over. Was it a long process, a grand display of affection, something small? And then together play out the lover's entrance to the underworld. Are they alone? Are they determined? Are they regretful? Interesting. So here, I see. So here, for example, play out the lover. So that's the lover will play their associated role, and then the singer would play out the departure of the underworld bit. And here, the singer plays the singer, but then maybe the lover plays the messenger. And back and forth like that. I think it would be nice if it was a little bit more, because I'm just reading this through now. It'd be nice if it did a bit more explaining what you're supposed to do. Because I feel like these prompts are very good in the sense of like, oh, I can see what I'd want to do with them. I think if you're playing this for the first time or playing with a 2-player game with someone maybe who isn't into RPGs that much or hasn't played any solo or anything like that, it can be quite intimidating. Certainly if you are the singer and it says sing. Again, I don't know if I would want to sing myself if I was the singer. But it's interesting how it's like sing, sing, sing all the way through and then speak for the lover. I like it though. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So we got the way next. So the singer sang all the promises you made to the lover. Were they sincere? Were they realistic? And the lover, speak of the secret path the messenger revealed to the singer. How is it hidden and how is it dangerous? And then together, play out how the singer makes their way to the underworld. How long does it take them? Are there others who have tried the same path and failed? The town. The singer, sing of those who dwell in the underworld. What do they look like? How is death unlike life? And how is it similar? And the lover, speak about what you hungered for in life. And why didn't your relationship sate that hunger? And then together, play out the lover's arrival amongst the dead. What do the townspeople beseech the lover to eat? Sorry, there's a massive hammer there. Just a really loud hammering noise. Does the lover acquiesce or refuse them? And then, so how many scenes is that so far? That's 4 big scenes. Okay, and we've got a couple more. The guardian, the singer must sing of your first fight with the lover. What was it about and how did it end? And then the lover, speak of what guards the underworld. Is it a beast, a construct? How does it threaten the singer? And then together, play out how the singer survives the guardian. Does the singer outwit it, charm it, evade it? And then we go to the baths. The singer sings of the pools of the dead wash in and drink from. What do those who drink from it lose? Why do they still use the baths despite that? And then the lover, speak of the compromises you made for the singer. What did you need to change? What did the singer ask you to? What did you need to change? Did the singer ask you to? And then together, play out how the lover prepares to meet with the rulers of the underworld. Do they indulge in the baths? Do they avoid them? Again, I think all I would do here is just maybe highlight those words, just because they said it at the top here. I'd like to see it with it's highlighted. So I feel like here, like the underworld should be highlighted, for example. The baths feel like it should be highlighted as well. The shades. So the singer must sing of the concerns the lover had to you. Sing of the concerns the lover had that you ignored. Why were they not important to you? What were you preoccupied by? And then the lover, speak of the denizens of the underworld who have forgotten who they are. Do they still appear human? What do they endlessly seek? And together, play out the singer's response to the shade's influence. What do they try to take from the singer? Does the singer rebuke them? And how? I wonder if, because obviously it's following the story of Hadestown, obviously following the story of Orpheus. Is there lots of? I wonder how often you would have different playthroughs of this. Like for me, the baths, that sort of thing. I'm thinking of like, will they lose their memories? Because I'm thinking of like the river Styx. But maybe there are other options as well. So I'm just wondering, because obviously there's certain set scenes, and obviously you're following the plot. Is there much different? Can you do a lot of different things? I don't know. And then the Queen. The singer sings of the Queen of the Underworld. Why do they continually return here? What passion did they once hold? And the lover, speak of your departure. And why did you leave? I like that. That's kind of almost like a similar thing here. Speak of this. Where is it? Play out the entrance to the. No, where is it? Here, where it's like the lover's departure from the world of the living, and then you talk about why you leave. So I guess there's some things where, again, you like maybe don't justify things until later. Maybe I'll have a word about that. It's like that you need to read through all these prompts before the third act to see if there's anything like there's connections, and try not to jump ahead, because that's something I would always do. I would always try to justify things. And then together, play out the lover's counsel with the Queen. Does the Queen show sympathy, disdain? Do they see themselves in the lover? How does the Queen advise the King? And then we have the final one, the King. The singer has to sing of what you would do to repair things between you and the lover. What did you lose? What could be enough? And then the lover, speak of the ruler of the underworld. Are they intimidating, powerful, charming? How do they view humanity? And then together, play out the singer's confrontation with the King. Why did they let the lover go? Is the King moved, convinced, tricked? Okay, so that's the end of Act 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 scenes in total. I wonder if I would maybe suggest having a time limit on them, perhaps. Like, I mean, not that you should have stuff like that, but I'm just thinking, like, how much is enough? Like, the prompts are going to be, I think, fairly short. You don't want to go into too much detail because you'll lose it. But then the actual scene itself, maybe up to 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more. So I would leave it to about an hour, probably a good gaming session. Okay. All right, ready for spoilers? Act 3. Doubt. Once the final descent scene has played out, the lover has to make a choice. Will they follow the singer back to their old life, or will they take their own path out of the underworld? The lover should not speak their choice aloud, but instead write it on a piece of paper and seal it inside an envelope. The singer chooses whether or not to look inside the envelope. Ooh, I like that. That's a cool ending, isn't it? It's a long way out of the underworld. Take as much time as you need to decide. If the singer looks inside the envelope, the lover is doomed to remain in the underworld. The singer returns alone, but knows the answer. If the singer decides not to look inside the envelope, the lover should destroy it. The singer will never truly know the answer. Ooh. And it says, finally, as a quote, it's a sad song, but we sing it anyway, because here's the thing, to know how it ends and still begin to sing it again, as if it might turn out this time. Interesting. Interesting. Oh gosh, we've got quite a lot of people watching. Hello, loads of people. Nice. Thank you for coming for possibly the shortest Too Long Didn't Read. I very much appreciate it. But yeah, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about this ending. I guess I like the idea of having the envelope. I think that I like that physical element of holding it and looking inside and stuff like that. That's quite cool. But then it indicates to me that you don't have to play this in person. You could play this online. And have them written down and hold up the envelope, and then, and then have the person then say to you, "I look inside," and then they can open it and reveal it. So it's not. I do think it's more devastating though to do it in person. I guess my question is though, how do we narrate that ending? Do we narrate going back? What's the I guess because otherwise it feels kind of final, right? It's that sort of and it's done. I think you would. And maybe what I say optionally, you would have an epilogue of some sort, just to talk these things through. I do like that. I do like that thing. So let's go back to top. What do we like about this? Again, incredibly short game, 4 pages long, $3 on itch. I really like it. I think it's got the bare bones of something. Would I play it? I think so. I actually think this could be a really good way of doing devised theatre. I like the structure of it. I like how both Act 1 and Act 3 are quite short, ultimately. Certainly the introductions, again, very simple, that's sort of straightforward. I wonder if it's that sort of thing where you don't have names, you don't have characters, right? You're just playing the singer and the lover. So no, you don't necessarily have to do any visual descriptions. So I think that's quite interesting. The big chunk of it is the going into the underworld scene, and there's lots of jumping back and forth. It'd be very interesting to play that out, I think, and building on stuff. I bet it would make a really interesting audio drama kind of play, if you really recorded it and then did bits and pieces of it. Again, I would wonder how long it would take. Do you set a time limit of 5 to 10 minutes per scene? Again, I say rough. It's just because I don't want people to then do lots of big monologues about stuff, because I feel like when it's a 2-player game, you want to be jumping off each other. That's the only thing I think there. Each of the individual plot points, I think, are important, because obviously they hit important things in the story, certainly of Hadestown, the town itself, the baths. I'm thinking as well, if for whatever reason you couldn't do all of it in one sitting, because this feels like a game that you have to do it all in one go. I wonder if there would be optional scenes that you would take out. Now, I know this sounds very sacrilegious in that sort of sense, but I'm just thinking of 2-player game. Could you make this 5 scenes instead of 10 scenes? Is there an optional way to not speedrun? I'm trying not to be negative about it, because I really like the length of it, but I know sometimes people find it really difficult to play 2-player games. And if you've got to come up with 10 scenes with a lot of prompts and a lot of improvising back and forth, certainly for new players, it could be quite stressful or overwhelming. I love this length of it. I think the answer is probably going to be no, right? Because each of these prompts, not only is there a bit about the underworld, but also about the relationship, and it switches between the prompts, and I quite like that. I also wonder if you were recording this for an actual play, I think you would hear about the underworld. I wonder if you would record separately the bit about the relationships. So for example, take this first one here. So Sing of the Dead's transport to the underworld, what form does it take? So I think both players could be there for that as the singer talks about it. I wonder if the lover's prompt Speak of the first gift the singer gave to you. What form did it take? I wonder if the singer doesn't hear that. I think if you privately record it or write it down or something like that. I wonder if that, having that hidden information. So like here, sing of the first conversation you had with a lover. Was it long, short? Did they take a shine to you? Did you get off on the wrong foot? I mean, maybe that's too meta, perhaps. But I do wonder about that relationship being kept from people, because ultimately at the end, when we have this, do you choose whether or not to look inside the envelope? That's kind of based on the information you probably got within that relationship stuff, right? So I think that's interesting. I also do like the choice. Will they follow the singer back to their life, or will they take their own path out of the underworld? So basically, are they breaking up with them? I think that's really interesting. And I like how we maybe don't explore, if you never truly know the answer, maybe you just describe your journey back to the, maybe you don't. I see now, yeah, because it would probably undermine, if you were describing that epilogue of like how we got back and how we're together, and then it undermines that whole thing with the paper, perhaps. So maybe not. Interesting. I do like how you keep that secret though. And maybe the way the singer talks about the lover and vice versa, maybe that is important to have that as open information so that the player can decide, like, if I was this person and I knew these things and maybe I've ignored them in my own relationship or anything like that, would I want to know? So, I don't know. In terms of the layout and stuff, I think it's very simple, straightforward. I think all that's missing is, a couple of bolding of words, but that's of like game terms. But yeah, I think overall it's very good. I always say, like, it's nice to have the title, who wrote it, what it's inspired by. It would be nice if there was like maybe a link to this person's itch page. So obviously I know where it's from. I believe that's their handle on Twitter and now Blue Sky. So if you want to check out their stuff, you absolutely can do. But there you go. That is Doubt Comes In. I said it's going to be relatively short. Yeah, under, what are we on? 30, almost 40 minutes. That's not too bad, is it? So yeah, would I play this for Where? I think so. I actually feel like I could, do something with it, And I think more importantly, you don't have to have listened to you don't have to know the story, right? You don't need to know about Hadestown. It's just inspired by. But maybe if I was playing this offline, maybe I would have some of the instrumental music playing as we're sort of talking through the scenes. Yeah, interesting though. Viewers, people are going nuts for Fiona. I really don't think so. I think they're like, what's this random game you're doing? And yeah, well, unfortunately, it is a short stream, but thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I've got the link in the Nightbot. It's just there. Yeah, please go check it out. I think for $3, it's worth your time. If you're interested in two-player games and doing something a bit different, it feels like it. And it feels like a good jumping-off point, perhaps. Like I said, maybe needs a little bit more context for stuff, but I think all that sort of stuff is, for me, it's just niggling, because it's just interesting, I think, overall. But thank you so much for joining this this stream of Too Long Didn't Read. I very much appreciate it. Let's go back to Big Fiona face. Thanks everyone, I very much appreciate it. I've enjoyed this. I look forward to playing it myself, as the prompts have really intrigued me. Oh, thanks, Kieran. Yeah, I'm glad it's something different. Again, I wasn't sure about this one, considering the last stream we did of a similar ilk, where I was a bit like, has some ideas and is it a work in progress, etc. But actually, it's a different way of playing a two-player game, so I very much appreciate it. Yes, very good. So let me think, what do I need to do? Go check out What Am I Rolling? So I'm the host of What Am I Rolling, which is a twice-monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast, which is part of the One Shot Podcast Network, which is very good. Enjoyed it. Oh, hello, Krista Bartlett. Nice to have you. Oh, that's very kind to have you. Yeah, check out What Am I Rolling? We're anywhere that you use the podcast, where we do lots of TTRPG streams. We do lots of TTRPG games and interviews with game designers. Our latest one came out on Saturday rather than Sunday, because I mucked up my times, which was Shiver by Parabole Games, and we finished our two-shot of Mr. Husk, the scenario there, just in time for Halloween. So go check that out. We've got a couple of game designer interviews coming up, which I'm very excited about. If you're interested, I've done some stuff for the One Shot Network recently. Go check out their Twitch channel. You'll probably see my face. We played 10 Candles briefly. I'd never played 10 Candles before. I'm definitely going to check that out on Too Long Didn't Read, because I hadn't read it before. I went and played it on stream, and very good, all the way up my street. If you're like Fiona, I don't care about RPGs. I'm just here to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I understand. Check out the DM's Book Club as well. It's a weekly book club podcast where myself and my co-host Hamilton, and a load of different guests come on, and we talk about stuff about D&D and what's good about it, how we can improve it, and all the lore and all the stuff that inspires us to talk about storytelling and campaigns and stuff like that. We read the books so that you don't have to. We've got a load of guests coming on. We've got a really exciting one. What day are we on? It was Tuesday today. So tomorrow, when the episode comes out, we're going to have our wonderful friend Matt the Bad Spot, our local friendly expert on The Between, coming to talk to me about The Between itself, which is by Jason Cordova, which is also in its final couple of days of Kickstart, the second edition. I'd recommend checking that out because it was a very fun conversation about role-playing games and storytelling, and his experience of doing a whole campaign of The Between, which is, I think it's unheard of that you do whole campaigns of stuff now, rather than the one shot or two shots that we do. And he actually introduced me to the phrase of double tap that you use for anything more than a one shot is a double tap, a two shot is a double tap, which I quite liked. What else is there to say? Tomorrow, at, I'm going to say 7 p.m. Eastern time. Who knows if that's right or not. We're going to do, over on the One Shot Podcast Twitch channel, we're going to do an RPG pub quiz tavern thing, which I'm hosting. I've been writing the questions for it, and we've got some wonderful guests coming. So, if you're interested in that, come check that out. I'm sure I'll put a post about it somewhere. And find out if I've made the questions either really easy or too hard. I tried the questions on my partner yesterday, and he said and I realised halfway through, I was like, I realised that you don't play role-playing games, you're Magic the Gathering, and he was like, So we'll find that. Thank you for the streaming. Void says, hey, I just saw you and wanted to see what's up. I started playing D&D for the first time a couple of weeks ago. First TTRPG, had lots of fun. Oh, fantastic, Void. I'm very pleased. Yes, well, go check out the DM's Book Club. We talk all about stuff for D&D in that one. And what I'd say as well, same thing with Where, is that you can listen to any episode in any order you'd like, whatever picks your fancy. Because that's the thing I always find is when you get to a new podcast or a new show and you're like, oh, God, where do I start? Start whichever topic takes your fancy, so go check it out. And thank you, Game Masters Hobby, very much appreciate it. We'll be back for this stream on Thursday at 11 a.m. Central Time. I think 4 p.m. GMT. It's very hard to tell nowadays because time is a weird soup. But we have, let me just see. Oh, The Hunted. We're going to read through The Hunted on Halloween. Classic me. So The Hunted is a folk horror storytelling game for 3 to 5 people that blends together the mechanics from Forged in the Dark, Powered by the Apocalypse, and Belonging Outside Belonging games to create a lean chimera of a game unlike anything you've ever played. Interesting. I think that's by Loot the Room, so Chris Bassetti as well. So we can all check that out. Yes, Loot the Room, I can see it there. So that will be on 11 a.m. Central on Thursday, so come and check it out then. Thank you so much, friends. I very much appreciate you all being here. I think that's everything I need to say. I've done all the plugs and all that sort of thing. So yeah, thank you so much, friends. I'll see you again on Thursday, and check out all the other VODs if you're brand new here. We've done lots of Too Long Didn't Read streams. So again, if there's something that picks your fancy, we've probably done it in the last year and a bit. All right, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye, friends.